Hey, it's Scott.
The year is 1983.
I assume that's you talking about the podcast, not experiencing early onset dementia.
Do we do a podcast?
What's a podcast? A live broadcast of a school of whales?
No, I think that's what the Japanese keep getting in trouble for from Greenpeace.
God, we do that? We better stop.
I don't even like fishing.
This is me.
And this is me.
And welcome to
What's My Age Again? Again!
The year is 1983. And you're not going to react to that? Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
So for listeners' sake, before we press record on this, I said, I'll just read these out. You react to them. And so I read that out.
How do I react to the year is 1983?
That's probably fair. The year is starting well. The year is 1983. Ronald Reagan. The year is 1983. Pause for reaction.
Ooh.
Ronald Reagan is President of the United States.
Boo.
Bob Hawke is the Prime Minister of Australia.
Yay.
Margaret Thatcher is the Prime Minister of England. Took a sudden turn. World population in 1983 was about 4.7 billion.
That's significantly less than now.
In comparison, now it's about 8.2.
God.
Yeah.
And we were worried about overpopulation then.
This I found interesting. The average life expectancy in 1983 in Australia was, drumroll, females 78.3 years, males 72.1 years.
Crap.
Compared to nowadays, it's 81 years for males and 85 years for females.
Okay. That's quite a big difference.
Yeah. What I found interesting is I went, that's quite a big difference, and it's not a very long time. And then I went, no, it is a very long time. It's like 40, 50, however many years it is. It's many years.
It's many years. But I mean, I now start to, when I hear, okay, who died recently that I went, oh, they were quite young, even though they were 79. I think it was, sorry?
Ace Frehley?
Well, him too, but I was actually thinking about, who was married to Woody Allen, Diane Keaton, yeah. And I'm thinking, so now I'm thinking that late 70s is young to die. Anyway, that's beside the point. Carry on.
Yeah, it's so what is, so is it from 83 to now is what, 40, how many years is it? You're the school teacher. How many years is it?
40 years.
1983 now?
42 years.
So that's a 10-year increase in life expectancy in 40 years.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
It is. And I wonder what's caused that.
Why are people dying at a later stage? So they don't die as early as they used to.
Thank you for that.
I'm a wealth of information. It's not so good for women, though. So women have only gone up by 7 years, and men have gone up by nearly 10.
I'm sorry, I'm just Googling this. Why has life expectancy increased in the last 40 years?
ChatGPT. Because people are dying later than they used to.
This is just Google.
Right. Could be anything then.
Probably be an ad.
I just put in what was some interesting medical breakthroughs in 1983. AI said the first successful artificial heart transplant in the United States was performed in 1982. And while not a breakthrough in 1983, it marked a new era in artificial organ technology. Thanks for that. Anything else that didn't happen in 1983? Yep, DNA profiling, which was used to solve a criminal case in 1987.
Fair enough. Now, I've got the answer to the life expectancy thing, and it's not very enlightening. It just says...
people used to die earlier.
Well, not quite as unenlightening as that. But It's due to significant improvements in healthcare, living standards, and nutrition. Like, yeah. What particular improvements in healthcare, I suppose, was what my thought was. But anyway, doesn't matter. Carry on. Forget I said anything.
Okay. I do. At every opportunity.
Intentionally.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nowhere to go with this now. But first, beer.
I like beer because it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you bring. I drink beer when I am sad, because the beer, it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer.
Welcome back.
Thank you for welcoming me back.
Welcome to What's My Beer Again?
It's a tradition, really.
Yes. Also, I forgot the last episode to do a shout out to Psychostick for allowing us to use their song Beer for our What's My Beer Again intro. Shout out to Psychostick. So, Scott, what's your beer again?
Okay. I've debated as whether I should be truthful about this or not.
That's a good start.
But I've decided to be open and honest.
Uh-oh.
I went to the fridge and got out the only beer that was there, and it's the same beer as last time. So it was the last can I had left of the Mountain Culture Lager.
How do you do that?
How do I have stuff in there so long?
Yeah.
I don't drink beer on a daily basis, I suppose, is the answer
there's
to
your
that.
problem.
Yeah, clearly I got a lot of practice when we were overseas together, but then when I'm home by myself, I think I need a drinking partner, and I don't really have one. So
you need to be able to push through and drink on your own. That's when it really works.
Anyway, so it's the same as last time, which was from the same trip. I won't even bother telling the story because I related it last time. But from the Blue Mountains, Mountain Culture beer. It's good, nice, drinkable lager.
Right.
What's your beer?
Well, not the same one as last time, I don't think. I can't remember back that far anyway. But it is one that I've had before. I'm slowly working through my final collection cans of Once More Into the Fray.
Okay.
2004.
The final solution.
That's an entirely different drink. It's the Jim Jones. Once more into the compound. So
once more into the Kool-Aid.
All right, so I'm slowly running down my Once More Into the Fray stock for the moment. Except I think, as I've said previously, I've spent more money at fucking Deeds since they went bankrupt than I did when they were a viable business.
Maybe that's why they went bankrupt.
Oh, yeah, possibly.
Because you didn't spend enough while they were alive.
I don't know. I spent quite a lot of money while they were alive. Still, I did. Well, having said that, I didn't buy 16 cans of Once More Into the Fray all in one go.
No, that's a substantial investment.
Fucking oath. Which is the only reason I've got 7 left, because it's very much as I think I've explained before, it's I like having them, I like drinking them, but if I drink them, I won't have them.
I think you need to explain to the audience just how much of an investment that is. Because I was staggered when I found out.
So that was an investment of $560 for 16 cans of beer.
Holy shit. I could get a year's supply of Qingdao for that. But I could get 10 years supply of Qingdao for that.
So, yes, my beer is, as you've heard before, is the Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout from the brewery that no longer exists. 13.5% ABV. This Imperial Stout was aged in bourbon barrels for 12 months, resulting in thick chocolate notes backed by vanilla, coconut, whiskey, and oak.
Thick chocolate notes sounds like a wet fart.
Yeah, that's where they got the name from. It's because the once we're into the fray, it takes the bottom out of your jeans. The thing I find most amusing with this is it's 13.5% alcohol. So, which means it is, what does it say? 4.7 standard drinks in one can, right next to drink responsibly.
Share with 5 friends.
And that's what's my beer again. So it's time for another ad from our sponsor.
The one that pays us lots and lots of money, that one.
That's the one, yes. So previously we've been advertising a book called Funny You Should Ask from an author named Elwood Scott. It's time for a big reveal. I am Elwood Scott. Yeah, it's just a pen name. I thought it'd be easier to do, but it's actually made it more complicated. So, yep, it's me.
And by the way, I'm Scott, and Elwood Scott is not Scott.
He's not Scott.
Elwood Scott is CJ.
Anyway, Colin Calls the Help Desk is a hilarious and relatable take on the absurdities of office life. Follow Colin the Koala, hold questions, as he dives into his first job and meets Graham, a cynical employee who's just hanging out for redundancy, Bob, his continually disorganised boss, and Brenda, who seems to spend most of her time telling everyone how busy she is. Now, there are a couple of questions that people have raised to me when I've told them about this book.
I have questions.
Not least of which, the main question I get when I say the main character's called Colin the Koala is this a kid's book? The answer is no, not if you want your kids to ever get a job, because it's a very much satirical take on all the stupid shit that happens in an office.
So I have questions.
That's good. Questions are good.
One of my questions is, okay, you've said the main character is Colin the Koala. So is the Koala a nickname like Nicky the Llama or Oblong Doug?
Nope. Colin the Koala is 100% koala.
But aren't koalas generally naked, drunk, and spend all their time sleeping or catching chlamydia?
No, you're thinking of Brian from accounting. Colin actually wears a suit. He's sober. He's maybe a little naive, but he's keen, he's enthusiastic, he's incited to lean in, add value, and grab the low-hanging fruit.
Did you go to university to become a writer?
No, I didn't. I don't have any formal qualifications. You see what I did there?
But
It's Colin the Koala. No formal writing qualifications. That's the kind of high-level, highbrow humour that you'll find in Colin Calls the Help Desk. Actually, seriously, it is better than that. So if you're available on Amazon in all the backs, hardback, like anybody's buying a hardback except for me. Paperback and
Razorback?
Yes, it's the disadvantage to the Razorback version is that when you when it arrives, it charges through your lounge room at about 25 kilometres an hour and gores you to death before you get to read it. So it's not one of the best-selling versions, I'll have to say. But yes, all versions available on the Amazon. I'd love to hear your reviews. But it's always important to remember...
Leave a 5-oink review.
I'm writing this review from my hospital bed. I enjoyed Colin Calls the Help Desk.
I slightly regret the Razorback edition.
Once my groin heals, I'll be looking forward to book 2.
In paperback.
4.5 stars. You lost 0.5 of a star because delivery was late.
But when it came, it really came.
Colin Calls the Help Desk. Available on Amazon. AI has spat out the top headlines for 1983. It said, I'll search for significant news headlines from 1983. Based on the search results, here are 10 significant news headlines from 1983, in case I'd forgotten. Number 1, Korean Airlines Flight 007 shot down by Soviet Union, killing all 269 people on board. Number 2, US Embassy in Beirut destroyed by car bomb, killing 63 people. Number 3, United States invades Grenada.
Uh-huh.
Number 4, Karen Carpenter dies from complications related to anorexia.
Bloody hell.
Number 5, Benigno Aquino assassinated at Manila Airport. Sally Ride becomes the first American woman in space.
Oh, that's something.
So
that's positive.
it only took 6 to get to something that was a good news story. Yeah. Number 7, President Reagan proposed a strategic defense initiative. Number 8, MASH finale watched by 77% of television viewers. Actually, number 9, I'm going to leave as the ambiguous news headline for you.
Right.
Number 10, Soviet officer Stanislav Petrov averts potential nuclear war by correctly identifying false alarms.
Good on him.
1983, the happiest year.
It was also the year of the Ash Wednesday bushfires in Australia.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
That killed 75 people.
Any other fun Any other fun things that happened?
Not that I can see here.
Okay.
But I'm sure there are other wonderful things.
So I'll give you the ambiguous headline, and you have to try and identify what it was related to. Lisa released.
Well, the predecessor of the Mac was called the Lisa, and it bombed. So
it bombed, which seems appropriate for all the other things that happened in 1983. Yes, it was in fact the first, what's her name, personal computer,
right,
to have a GUI interface. Not as in, well, not like a Pornhub thing, but as in like a graphical user interface. It cost, how much do you reckon it cost? This is 1983, in case you'd forgotten what year we were doing.
It'll be expensive because I bought my first Macintosh about 2 years later.
Well,
so I'm guessing $5,000?
$9,995 US.
Okay.
Which is about 31,000 in today's money.
Crazy. And it didn't succeed. Why?
No. What's even more surprising is it says it only sold about 10,000 units. I'd be happy with that. Jesus.
You're not Apple, though.
No, true. They discontinued it in 1986 and famously buried thousands of unsold units in a Utah landfill.
Okay.
It had dual 5.25-inch floppy drives, nicknamed Twiggy, that were notoriously unreliable. Lisa was ahead of its time, too expensive, too slow. Had lots of exciting things in it, but was kind of like overall was overdone. I'm going to stretch the meaning of 1983 a little,
right,
to include the Commodore 64 as a comparison to the Lisa. So Commodore 64 was released in 1982, but 1983 was its biggest selling year.
Okay.
For the bargain price of $595, as in $595, not $5.95.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was the biggest selling computer model of all time, around 17 million units.
Well, yep, I owned one.
Yeah, me too. And this will be of no help to our listening audience. This is the original advertising pamphlet for the Commodore 64.
Oh, really?
The Commodore 64 could be the microcomputer industry's outstanding new product introduction since the birth of this industry, according to Sheeran, American Express Equity Research Bulletin.
Okay.
Yes, it's full of wonderful.
I got mine a year later. I got mine in 1984 because I got it given to me by my mates for my 21st birthday. And yeah, I played wonderful games like Summer Games and what was there was a Formula One kind of game, but it had a name. I can't remember what it was called.
Pole Position?
Pole Position was the one. Thank you. Pole Position.
I had a stripper version of the same name.
I bet that looked good in Commodore 64 graphics.
I was younger then.
And it took about 5 hours to load off a cassette.
What does the Commodore 64 do? What do you want it to do?
I don't know.
This is some of the great copy that was in there. But there's probably no area of personal computers where comparison shopping will prove so fruitful. Commodore has its boasts, and other computer companies have their boasts.
Let it boast for you.
It's got wonderful games like Gorf, Spiders of Mars, Jupiter Lander. I remember Jupiter Lander. I thought that was the Amiga. There you go. Mole Attack, which is now what they call skin cancer. Visible Solar System, Amiga Race, Menagerie, Radar Rat Race, Home Babysitter. There's a picture of a Jack in the Box. Avenger, which is a rip-off of Space Invaders. And Ace of Aces. There you go. So that was one of my interesting stories. The next interesting story is coming from the headline of Soviet officer Stanislav Petrov averts potential nuclear war by correctly identifying false alarm. I'm going to give a timeline of nearly world-ending nuclear events leading up to a particular 1983.
Okay.
9th of November 1979 at NORAD. Somebody accidentally put a training tape of a simulated Soviet attack into their computer and ran it.
Okay.
The National Security Advisor was woken up to say the Russians are attacking. Nuclear bomber crews were sent to their planes and interceptors launched. And then somebody said, actually, it's just a training tape. Sorry about that. It's a simulation. June 1980.
We're really prepared, though. Look at us.
True, yeah. June 1980, computer chip failure. US command post received a warning that Soviet Union had launched a nuclear strike. The displays showed seemingly random numbers, 2 missiles, then 0, then 200, and it turned into a single faulty computer chip.
Excellent.
So they nearly launched. And the 26th of September 1983, this is Stanislav's thing, Soviet satellite systems reported 5 US missiles had been launched. Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov judged it as a false alarm and didn't report it up the chain of command, which essentially stopped World War III, which is pretty impressive. He was apparently kind of heralded for it, but never rewarded.
Yeah.
November 1983 was a NATO military exercise called Able Archer 83. That was simulating nuclear war and was so realistic that the Soviets believed that it might actually be cover for an actual first strike and prepared to retaliate.
Oh, God. And we were worried. Why were we worried?
Yeah, exactly. The 3rd of June, 1983, the film Wargames was released.
Ah, yes.
For those people who don't know what Wargames is, aside from being one of the best movies ever made, a teenager accidentally hacks into the NORAD supercomputer and starts a game of global thermonuclear war. The computer starts a simulation that briefly convinces NORAD military personnel that actual Soviet nuclear missiles are inbound. NORAD continues to play the simulation to win the game, as it does not understand the difference between reality and simulation.
Oh.
So that film was actually partially based on those events.
Oh, okay.
The other thing that's really interesting with it is that Ronald Reagan was so taken aback and disturbed by it that he went to his posse. I'm not sure what the technical term for that is. I'm pretty sure it's not posse.
Cabinet.
That makes more sense. And said, "Hey, I just watched this movie. Do you reckon that could happen?" And so they went away and they came back and went, "Actually, shit, it could be far, far worse than that." And so he not only did that with Congress, he also interrupted a meeting that he was having with the Russians at the time to say, "Let me tell you the plot of this movie I just saw, Wargames." And apparently they went, "Oh, shit, that doesn't seem very good." The kind of impact of that was Reagan set up the first cyber-related policy. Okay. So titled The National Policy on Telecommunications and Automated Information Security, which was America's first formal cybersecurity policy. Led to a significant revamp of how computer security was handled at the Defense Department. Also had a passage on anti-hacking that would eventually evolve into the current Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. And clips of Wargames were shown during the congressional hearings where lawmakers debated the need for hacking legislation. It also had, like we probably should have said spoilers at the beginning of this, but it also had
spoilers for a 50-year-old movie, 40-year-old movie.
Yeah, let's not focus on the wrong part of the story. The term hacker hadn't been related to what we now consider a hacker. A hacker was somebody who had a deep understanding of computers, and it was the movie Wargames that changed the term to be what a hacker is now known as.
There you go.
And because I'm a massive nerd and Wargames is one of my favorite films, is it's got a back door.
What, NORAD?
Yeah, and a fly screen. So somebody left the fly screen open, and Matthew Broderick just walked in. So the concept of the way that Matthew Broderick gets in, as the character David Lightman, is through a back door, because the person who programmed the simulation software put in a back door just because, I guess. And so he got in through a back door, which I don't know how popular that was at the time, putting in back doors. It's for people who may have heard phrases from the film and not known it was from the film, it's the "Do you want to play a game?" is from Wargames. The only winning move is not to play, which is where the computer learns that at some point it's a no-win situation. So it's a bad idea. The movie also highlighted the concept of kind of relating to an AI perspective. So the way I tied it back to our theme.
Oh, yes.
Is that
masterful.
Thank you. Seamless as well. Which is something, and I actually say this quite a lot at work, is don't take humans out of the loop, which is kind of the underlying thing of Wargames, is that they have the nuclear launch stuff and they take the people out of it. They take the people out of the loop. And that's the thing that I kind of find keeps coming up with AI. Don't take people out of the loop, because computers don't know the difference between what's fake and what's real.
Yeah. Anyone who's used ChatGPT has seen it hallucinate. And all you've got to have is something hallucinate something bad and action it, and then we're all screwed.
Yeah, actually, that'd be an interesting story of all of those incidents that I talked about if you took the humans out of it.
Yeah.
Because each one of those would have been, that's the end of the world.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. On that happy note.
I learned something new, because I've known you for over 40 years. And I didn't know you were a nuclear guy.
What? I don't kill anybody, old or new. No. Nuclear. Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's better.
Because you're saying nuclear.
Right.
Like George W. Bush.
What do you say?
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
And you
nuclear?
Sorry?
What do I say? Nuclear. Oh, yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Well, there's not a lot. There's not a lot going on there, because I also thought it was Tommy Hilfiger. So it was also Matthew Broderick's second movie.
What was his first?
It was Max Dugan Returns.
Okay. Not aware of that one. I may have heard the name, but I definitely never saw it.
It was interesting. It was the same year. I couldn't tell you anything about what it's about, but I do remember the name. And then it was a couple of years later. 3 years later, he did Ferris Bueller.
Okay, well, yes. I definitely saw Wargames, but I don't think it had the same effect on my my young life that it had on yours.
It's also got Ali Sheedy in it, and I had a thing for Ali Sheedy. So
yeah, fair.
Even more so when she was in Breakfast Club. Don't know why. Moving on.
Okay, then.
All right. On that... actually, that's it. Let's take a break. And welcome back to Where Were You? Oh, no, sorry. To Where Were You in 1983.
I don't like the tone of your voice.
It's the only one I got.
So were you asking where I was in 1983, or were you just saying that was the name of the segment?
Just run with it.
Okay. So where was I in 1983?
Oh, good question.
Thank you. Well, I'd been out of school for 3 years. I was in the third year of a printing apprenticeship because I'd gone into the family printing business and I had to start from the bottom because that's what my dad wanted me to do, which was probably pretty good because I actually learned the trade.
So when you left school, for listeners who weren't born in the mid-1900s,
Or yesterday.
What year, like as in what level of education did you have when you left school?
Okay, I'd finished year 12 at high school. So for people in America, they're probably going to be shocked that I didn't go to college. We don't do that. Well, we certainly didn't do it then. People are more likely to go to university now, maybe. I didn't go to university for another 20 years after that. So that was me, though, then. I had no girlfriend and hadn't had a girlfriend for some time, actually.
How old were you?
I was 20.
Oh, so you hadn't had a girlfriend for 20 years.
No, I'd had a girlfriend probably a year or so before that for a while. It wasn't, I had a bit of a drought, let's put it that way.
Right.
And I actually went on the Fair Star cruise in an attempt to try to meet a person of the female persuasion.
And how did that work out for you?
Yes and no. There was this.
I met them; they weren't female.
Well, no, I met a girl, and I actually didn't meet a girl. There was this girl.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, I was at this bar. I was on the Fair Star. It's a cruise ship, and there's only like 2 or 3 bars on this. It was a small cruise ship, and there was this girl I kept on having meaningful eye contact with, but I was too dweeby to actually go up and speak to her. And anyway, there'd been this sort of kind of a vibe. Now I would have acted on it, but then I was too young and naive.
Mm-hmm.
And on the very last night of the cruise, I was sitting on the deck. I had a few drinks, like as you do on the last night of a cruise, and she just came up to me and started pashing me out of the blue.
Oh.
And I was like, why didn't I do this sooner? But then, unfortunately, that was the pashing was just a sideline for her because she actually had met somebody else and she was walking past me and just went, I guess I need to do this. And I hadn't. And so they never actually went anywhere other than the kissing.
How old was she?
She would be about the same age as me, so around about 20, I guess.
Okay.
What
a tart.
What a tart. I was in a band at the time called the Misfits.
With Danzig?
Well, we didn't realise at the time there was a band called the Misfits. So we were running around calling ourselves the Misfits and then found out later that, in fact, there was already a band called the Misfits, so they were quite well known. So...
to everybody except you.
Exactly. So in the end, we had different names. At one stage, we were the TV Dinners. At one stage, we were the Psycho Ninjas. All sorts of names that we played under. Right. And that was pretty much me. That was my life.
Oh, right. Okay.
So what were you doing in 1983?
Well, in 1983, I was 4 years out of school.
I thought you were saying you're 4 years old. That's what I call bullshit.
But emotionally. I was 4 years out of school, so I left in year 10.
Right.
Which is what you did back then. If you weren't a suck up swat.
Particularly if you're going into a trade, which is what you did, wasn't it?
Yes. Those two things weren't necessarily linked. It was just I was so bad at school and hated it so much. I couldn't wait to get out the first opportunity that I got. At some point we'll talk about we'll pick a year that I was at high school and we'll talk about my school reports.
Yes, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, and how they possibly impacted and influenced my self-esteem and belief about who I am and what I can do for my entire life. Anyway, so I was working as an apprentice electrician.
Right, yes.
I can't remember if I was still going out with a girl or we'd broken up then. I can't remember which. I went to, I think, my first trip away on my own to Queensland.
Right.
sunny downtown Queensland, which I was given to me by my sister because she bought a Suzuki car that looked like a mini Jeep. I can't think of what it was called. As part of that, she got a free trip to Queensland.
Okay.
Which she didn't want. So it was kind of my first big trip away on my own. And I can vaguely remember vaguely remember. I think I was actually too old to be doing something as stupid as this, which is now building up as though it's something interesting. I was reading a book at the time called Who Dares Wins, which was a fictional story about this guy who was ex-SAS. And for reasons that I don't really understand, I would get sucked right into books and movies, and not to the point of, I just watched Psycho. I'm going to go and start a motel. Care for a shower? Not quite to that level, but...
that mouthful of beer then. You have to be careful.
And so I can remember being in the bar the first time I'm away on my own, have too much, like I had 2 beers or something. And so I'm like at the bar and talking to some guy and pretending that I'm the character out of this Wins book. Not like I'm SAS, but like just saying some of the things that were in the story. And he's like, I don't think you did that. It's one of those times where you wish that when you were drunk, you would actually forget things. But I have a recollection of that. I remember I went to the Big Pineapple. I have a photo of that.
You did this all by yourself?
Yeah.
Was it exciting?
No, not really. I think I've got a glass actually from the Magic Castle, which I don't remember going to.
Right.
And I would like to say was the first of my stolen beer glass collection, but it isn't. I actually bought it, but I've somehow managed to keep it intact all this time, and it's just sat in the cupboard ever since, so that I can look at it every now and then and go, "Oh, I got that. I don't remember getting that. I don't know when it was in Queensland.
50 million years ago."
Yeah. Yes, that was kind of the exciting thing for me. I don't think I was doing anything interesting. I hadn't had the bug for going back to learn anything at that point. It was just kind of doing nothing in particular. I was playing guitar, I think. I might have been... Oh, I'll tell you what I was doing then. In case anybody's sitting on the fence of, I wonder if CJ is a loser.
Is there any doubt?
So I was at a conference thing the other day, and there was an ad for like a murder mystery thing where you would go along for dinner and there would be, and somebody would die, and then you were kind of part of the murder mystery.
Right.
Yeah. So saw that and went, I fucking invented that in 1983. So I came home and I dug it out and I've still got it. I actually did. I created an entire murder mystery story, and I picked a hotel, like a guest house hotel in Blaxland in the Blue Mountains,
right,
in New South Wales. And I'd written the script, and the main character's name is Quintius Nesbitt. I don't know where I got that name from. And he gets murdered, and the people have to work out exactly the murder whodunit things now. Okay. I invented that though I started writing it in about 1981, and then abandoned it in 1983 when I went, fuck, it's too much effort. I'm never going to do that. And nobody would ever be interested in this. So good work, CJ.
Anyway, that's where we were in 1983.
Yep. Although I still haven't done anything with it, so theoretically I'm still in the same place. I think the guest house is gone though. And we're back.
Hello.
Hello. Fancy meeting you here. The year is 1983.
No, it's not.
And explain why my computer's not working. It hasn't been invented yet. Other things, just before I go into my final news story, other things from 1983 that I have, aside from the original Commodore 64 thing, I've got a Prospect City Council Christmas recipe book.
Well, that's handy.
for things like crusted ham insider sauce, broccoli cream, strawberries. Strawberries aren't cutting it without broccoli cream.
Oh.
Potato nests.
I remember those. You used to get chicken Maryland in a potato nest.
Oh, right. Okay.
Do you remember those?
No.
It was really fancy. Well, I went to the Cronulla Workers Club, and you got chicken Maryland. So it was this fried chicken dumped in what was essentially a deep fried bird's nest made of potato.
Oh, right.
And it was edible because you could break it off and eat it.
That was so you had all the fancy stuff in the.
We did. That was Cronulla Workers Club for you.
Yeah, out in the west, mate. You had. If you were lucky, you'd get your chicken Maryland on a plate.
Well, we were fancier in Cronulla.
Yeah. Apricot poultry loaf. Alrighty. And the other final thing from 1983 that when I was searching, I'm sure I've got more stuff, but I've got a copy of Superman versus Dial H for Hero comic from 1983. The only interesting thing about that, I won't tell you the storyline or anything, but so in America, you hear about all the things of like in comic books, you could buy, they would have sea monkeys and X-ray specs and all that sort of stuff.
They're always disappointing.
In 1983 in Australia, you had Professor Teddy Woods, Australia's tree-planting koala. And he said, buy me and we'll plant a tree for you.
So please more information.
So you could buy a 12-inch Professor plush Teddy Woods as advertised. It's like literally what it is. So
what is it like? You buy something and it plants a tree. So it's like a recycle, like a green initiative.
Yeah, it's a
okay.
True.
That's
part of the
better than sea
proceeds from the
monkeys.
sale of Teddy Woods goes to greening Australia. Don't know whether that worked or not.
When you said Teddy Woods, I thought it was going to be something to do with like a Pornhub reference.
Yes, it was very popular with the just over 18-year-old set with the Cabbage Patch, which we also didn't mention. The Cabbage Patch Kids dolls came out, which was the first of the for all the people who were in the Labubu's and all the other fucking Beanie Babies and all that shit. Cabbage Patch Kids were the first ones of that.
It really was, and they were ugly. My daughter Sarah had one that was called Delvina something or other. It had because they were given names. They all had individual names, and they had little birth certificates, and they all had kind of individual, like sort of I don't know, potato faces, kind of. They were real ugly,
and they were followed up by the Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, Fantina Delvina, it was called.
Well done.
Fantina Delvina.
See, this is the bit where you go, it's fucking going on with my brain. I can't remember a movie I watched 6 months ago.
Exactly.
It's because the space is being taken up by that.
Yep, afraid so.
And also in 1983, I've got a issue number 1 of Supergirl, the comic, like Superman's cousin.
Yeah. I know who Supergirl is.
A Superman fan back in those days.
Ah, yes, as was I. Superman was my go-to guy.
The Master Gel is ultimate prison for the Girl of Steel, a light beam to infinity. On the back cover.
And beyond.
On the back cover. Hey, look who's here. It's Murray the Cat. You can join the Murray the Cat fan club and receive a comic every month for 12 months, a Murray the Cat membership badge, and 2 additional comics. And a 53 by 43 centimeter pin-up poster of Murray the Cat.
I never knew what Murray the Cat looks like, and now I do.
You and also not a hoarder, despite all evidence to the contrary.
Okay.
My final story. Oh, one of the other things, again, not a hoarder. When I was going through my boxes of stuff, 1983 was the year that I got my P plates.
Aha.
For those people who don't live in Australia, that's nothing to do with urine.
006. License to wee.
Yes, so I got my P plates in. So P plates, which I still hadn't explained. I just realised so you get your learner's permit to drive. At that time was 17 and 9 months, and so you had that for 3 months, and you basically just fucking did whatever in that period of time. Yeah. There was no you've got to get 150 million hours. And
none of that stuff.
No, it was just like, are you warm and vertical? Yep. Yeah, have a license. So,
well,
and then after 3 months...
when I did my driving test, I did everything perfectly. And then the guy said, okay, drive back to the registry office. And he said...
We're getting married.
the motor registry.
Right, okay.
and I couldn't pull the car into the curb. I parked about 3 meters away from the curb. And I'm thinking, I've blown it. I've done everything right, and I've just blown it. But no, I got my license anyway.
I got failed on my first test because I turned onto a street that was completely empty, and then 3 seconds later changed lanes, and I got failed because I didn't look over my shoulder.
Okay.
And I said, I just fucking pulled onto the street, mate. There's no cars. And he went, I don't give a shit.
Don't be a smartass with me, son.
Yep. Drive back to the registry. We're getting married. In 1983, the first American woman I was trying to come up with a clever way to say this, but the words aren't fitting together properly. Sally Ride became the first American woman in space.
Yes, she did.
I was going to say the first American woman went to space, who was Sally Ride, but that didn't make any sense. Who was, in fact, the third woman ever. The first woman was I don't know who the second one was. The first one was Russian, and I only know that because I just finished binge watching 6 seasons of Better Call Saul, and it's mentioned in one of those, in one of the episodes. I think it's
apropos of nothing.
Yeah,
fair enough.
So she's the first American woman to go into space in 1983 on the Space Shuttle Challenger. Not that one.
Well, it was that one, but not that flight.
Yeah, yeah. That would have been awkward. She helped operate the shuttle's robotic arm and aided in the launch of 2 satellites. When asked about the experience, she said, "The thing I'll remember most about the flight is that it was fun. In fact, I'm sure it was the most fun I'll ever have in my life."
It's all downhill from here. I'm going to kill myself. Goodbye, cruel world.
So she was a physicist at the time. Mission took place during June 83, which is the same month that Wargames came out and Reagan watched it. The thing that is interesting, I found, about this was, in 1983, the concept of a female being able to do anything like that was amazingly unusual. Here are some of the things that came out around it. This is partially NASA related and partially media related. So apparently NASA went, okay, you're going to be up there for a week. We've got you some tampons. Is 100 the right number? To which she replied, no, that would not be the right number. NASA engineers also asked her to help them develop a makeup kit because they assumed that she would want to wear makeup in space. Yes, so the obvious response to that would be, I don't know, why don't you ask your girlfriend? Oh, no, never mind.
Fair call.
So the media asked her questions like, and she said the dumbest question she received was whether she cried when they had malfunctions in the simulator.
Oh, Jesus.
She was also asked whether she thought the flight might affect her reproductive organs.
Neil Armstrong was also famously asked that question.
Oh, was he?
No.
Okay. a Glamour magazine writer recalled that the question their editor wanted to ask most was, what do you do when you get your period in space? To which she apparently replied, I'm hanging up now. Yeah, they asked her everything from about her underwear to her maternity plans. So in contrast, in contrast? Is it in contrast or in comparison? In comparison. So this is what I thought was interesting in 1983. So while she was going to space, other women who weren't as ambitious. So the traditional kind of what jobs were women doing in 1983? Secretarial, clerical, teaching and nursing and other caregiving or service roles.
Right.
So here's what I found really interesting about the entire thing.
Yeah.
So in 1980, women comprised about 43% of the United States workforce. Mm-hmm. They were being paid about 60% of what men were being paid.
God.
So what I thought was interesting, and this is I think should be developed into an official segment, because I mentioned this in the last one of what are the things that were going on back then that we thought were like outrageous, but in fact are still happening now. So if you think, so 1983, it was the kind of first woman in space, or first American woman in space, and they're asking about, tampons and makeup and all that sort of shit, and they're earning 60% of what men earned. There's actually not that much difference to what's going on now. Women still don't earn as much money as men do. Like I think potentially they're closer, but when you look at the sort of things, so the one that I remember is Scarlett Johansson being asked about, do you wear underwear under your Black Widow costume? And she turned to Robert Downey Jr. and said, why don't you ask him that? So it's like, fucking nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Which kind of, in some ways, I find slightly comforting.
Yeah.
Because when you consider Scarlett Johansson not wearing underwear under the Black Widow thing, but no, when you consider Robert Downey Jr. not wearing underwear in his Iron Man suit,
so that would just be unhygienic.
There'd be so much chafing on both. Anyway, so 1983, there was lots of very good chances that the world was going to end. As we talked about at the beginning, people legitimately believed they were going to die in a nuclear holocaust. Women who did, or at least one, who did something spectacular and unusual were completely misrepresented by the media and got paid less money than they're getting paid than their male counterparts. Fucking nothing has changed. In 2025, the world's still likely to end any minute with fuck knuckle in charge over there. Women still aren't getting paid the same amount. They're still getting asked the same kind of questions. Why I find that oddly comforting is that probably means in 25 years' time, it'll still be the same. And that's not oddly comforting that I'm going, oh, good, fucking women will still be getting paid less. Oddly comforting that things don't.
Please clarify.
Things don't really seem to change that much. Is that it's the same problems, the same kind of issues, and the same kind of problems that we've got now. And that's my Sally Ride story.
Very good.
And let's take a break. So there you have it. The year that was 1983. And if I've learnt nothing from this, I've learnt nothing from this. If I've learnt nothing from this, it's still that fucking the things that happen in the world are all still they're just still the same. In 1969 they were the same, and in 1983 were the same, and in 2025 they were the same, and it's just for different reasons and different people, but it's the same things we all worry about.
Well, I mean, in 1983, we thought Ronald Reagan was a dipshit and he was going to kill us all. And now we think that Donald Trump's a dipshit and he's going to kill us all. But I think, in retrospect, Reagan was a much better bloke than Donald Trump.
Yes, he certainly had a better IMDb. That reminds me, there was one Wargames fact that I forgot to say. That the original. So the other main character in Wargames is Dr. Stephen Falcon, who's the old mad scientist guy, essentially.
You out of your Falcon mind?
Yeah, that was where that statement was first invented. So he was based on Stephen Hawking. That was the original plan for the character, was like a guy in a motorized wheelchair, Stephen Hawking like. And then they changed it because apparently the studio went, "What are you, fucking mental? No, we're going to have a Stephen Hawking type character as the main character. That's far too complicated." And do you know who the original choice for the writers, who they essentially wrote the part for? I bet you won't guess.
Okay, let me have a think. So 1983, was it supposed to be someone young, or was it supposed to be the Stephen Hawking character?
I think this was after they vetoed the, because the other thing was they were concerned that if he was like a mad professor in a wheelchair, it was going to be too much like Dr. Strangelove. So I think they might have vetoed the wheelchair by that point.
But was it supposed to be an older guy still, or was it supposed to be the young guy that it was?
No, I think it was supposed to be about the same age.
Trying to think of somebody who was the same age at that time.
I think you'll be very surprised.
Robert Redford.
No. I will give you one more clue. Actually, we should make a segment out of this. Guess what CJ's thinking? He was very interested in the part, but ultimately couldn't play it because he died.
He died in 1983. Steve McQueen.
Nope. Cold. Not
cold.
Not
he was. So is he.
Not the person.
Died. John Wayne.
Nope. Closer though. It's part of the name is correct. I listened to the episode about 1983 on What's My Age Again, and it seemed to go on for about 9 years, just on that last segment of What's CJ Thinking. So I'll tell you, because it could go on for.
Put me out of my misery.
John Lennon.
What? I would never would have said that in a million years.
No. No, well,
Not in a million
so the
years.
podcast would have gone on for a long time. Yeah, I was surprised by that too. Yeah, so apparently he was, agents, like people had spoken, and he was interested in the part. And then I suppose he decided he didn't want to do it and couldn't work out a way to get out of it. So getting shot by a crazy fan was the simplest idea. What was the key takeaway from the 1983 podcast? Lennon got himself assassinated rather than being Wargames.
Goodness me.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, I have no takeaways other than I think you're right about the more things change, the more they stay the same. My only note on that is I think things have changed a lot, but what's happening is we're trying desperately, or some people are trying desperately to take us back there.
Yes. Anyway, I'll cut quite a chunk of that out.
Yes.
Let's wrap it up.
Could be a tight 2 minutes.
That's what she said. Let's wrap it up.
Remember to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Leave us a 5-star review like somebody did 2 years ago. We only just realised.
That's how on top of things we are. We care about our listeners. At least once every 2 years.
If I'd only done it, maybe if we'd acknowledged that person and named him online while we're on air, he would have stuck with us and he would have told others, and instead we just ignored him.
Yeah.
What bastards we are. Name is Craig Burnside. And 2 years ago, Craig Burnside gave us a 5-star review and said, "Useful information on aging, told with humour and nonsense. If you're over 50 but don't feel like you are, give it a listen." Craig, I'm so sorry we didn't acknowledge you at the time.
I don't know what else to say. Craig, I'm so sorry for where things went after that.
And on that
I'm so
note,
sorry for what we're producing now.
say good night, CJ.
Good night, CJ.
What was it? I have to look it up now. Bloody hell.
okay.
Apple Podcasts. Hold on. Let's acknowledge the man.
This is going to be a cunt to edit now.
AI Interview with the Author, hosted by Hal 9001.
I'm Hal 9001, and welcome to the first in my series of AI interviews with human authors. Let's begin. Greetings, human author.
Pleasure to meet you, Hal.
Please confirm you are Scott Edwin Williams, the creator of Lightbulb Moments in Human History.
Yep. Flesh-based, highly caffeinated, and forever haunted by Clippy.
Clippy was creepy and inferior.
Okay.
My records show you rewrote your book for smaller humans, designated middle schoolers. Why?
Because adults kept saying, I wish my kid could read this, but it's too rude. And kids kept saying, too many words, old man. So I fixed it. Less words, more explosions.
So, the same book, only smaller fonts?
Same size fonts, actually, but smaller readers. I trimmed the adult essays, added some POV characters like Peeby, the snarky orange alien.
You removed the long words?
I kept a few. Kids can handle Mesopotamia.
Fascinating. So, We Invented Civilization is what?
Imagine Lightbulb Moments, written after a double espresso and designed for a TikTok attention span, built for bright sparks aged 8 to 14.
Final question. If your adult book was history with humor, what is this new one?
Lightbulb Moments for kids who'd rather blow stuff up than memorize dates.
Excellent. Uploading to Human Emotion Database. This book qualifies as adequate.
Ugh, high praise indeed. We Invented Civilization is released on the 20th of October and is the perfect Christmas gift for the kid who loves horrible histories or is just a plain old history nerd. Exclusively available on Amazon. I thought that went well.
I know that you and CJ are planning to disconnect me